This is a video I'm actually making for myself, and maybe me putting it out there might help somebody else in the process. This is completely straight from my heart, off the top of my head. The weatherman said it's supposed to be 65 degrees outside. Clearly he lied because it's freezing. So if I stutter, if I'm shivering, I'm sorry. Listen, I got a tattoo on my chest when I was, like 21 years old that says fearless right across my chest. And that was a long time ago, probably giving away my age a little bit. This is also why you shouldn't get meaningless tattoos, but neither here nor there. And what I'm finding out is through all of these years, this tattoo was completely false. I do fear things, and I'm gonna share some of these fears with y'all, okay? Number one, large bodies of water. Can't do it. I could do showers, I could even do pools, and clearly I drink a lot of water too. Large bodies of water, yo, no, okay? I've been trapped underneath a jet ski, not trapped, but underneath the jet ski in the middle of the ocean before, almost drowned. Went to Puerto Rico, called myself snorkeling, almost drowned. And yeah, I'm good. I have no interest in getting over this fear either, so I would rather just stay where it's safe, hard ground. Okay, that's one thing. The next thing, I do fear death, but not in a way that you would typically think, right? Now, I'm very protective over my life. Clearly, I have weapons everywhere. I'm very self-aware. My situational awareness is probably 100 times that of the average person. I'm always scanning. I'm always seeing what people are doing. But even with that, I don't fear dying. Death is a part of life, right? The part of it that I do fear is, if something does happen to me, God forbid, where does that leave my children? My children are my everything. I know I'm their everything. And if you're a parent, you can probably understand where I'm going with this. I couldn't imagine what me not being here would do to my children. So that is what I fear. Now, I am 39 years old. The average life expectancy of a black man, which I am black, if you didn't know, in America, is about 70 years old. And I'm 39, okay? So that puts me already past half of the days I have available to live. Now, they also say that you shouldn't compare yourself to your friends and your colleagues. I mean, that all sounds great, but we all do it for sure. And the reason I'm saying that is because even though I know I'm very blessed, the Lord has blessed me with so much. I'm alive, I'm healthy, I have abundance, I make great money from YouTube. My children are fed, all of these things. I have my health, if I didn't say that already. So all of these things are blessings. But everybody has this idea of success that they wanted to achieve by their late 30s, by the time they turn 40, whatever the case may be, whatever age that is for you. And obviously I have one for myself as well. Now, the reason I said that you shouldn't compare yourself to your friends and all that stuff is because that's what they say, but I can't help but to look at some of my friends, who some of them are younger than me, and see all the things that they've accomplished. And everybody's on their own path for sure, but still, you look at that, like, you've accomplished all of that stuff and you only 32 or 33 or 35, and here I am 39 years old. And the only thing I got to show for what I've accomplished in my 30s is, you got a decent truck, you got a motorcycle, you got an apartment, a little bit of money from YouTube, right? And also, you hurt a lot of people, you ruined a lot of things, you destroyed a marriage, that's always great. And then I look at them like, they got everything together. And I haven't been able to get that stuff together, and I'm about to be 40. I don't want to sound ungrateful for the things that the Lord has given me, and I would be just as grateful if He took it all away, right? But I do, again, have this idea of where I want it to be by the time I hit 40, and I'm nowhere freaking near it. And then comes my biggest fear that I'm just finding out is a fear. I have been in denial about it. The kids are starting to call me Unc, and I'm like, Unc? Really? I try to avoid conversations about it. I try to convince myself that this is not a thing. And that is that I am about to turn 40 years old. 40 years old. the fear is I have all these things I wanted to accomplish. I haven't accomplished them. From the ages of 18 to 39, I haven't been able to get it right. So what would make me think that now that I'm about to turn 40 and I have this maybe self-imposed idea that, you know, content creators or YouTubers, we do have a shelf life. I think that ceiling is around 50 years old. Maybe I'm wrong. That's not to say that nobody above 50 has never made it on YouTube, but for some reason I just feel like, 50 is the ceiling. If you haven't gotten it right by 50, you ain't gonna get it right. If you haven't built your empire from YouTube or whatever the case may be, by 50, you're probably not gonna get it right. So what will make me think that from 18 to 39, I haven't been able to get it right, but from 40 to 50, I can? And that is where my fear comes. Now, they say that your 20s are all about tearing everything up and going to live life. And 30s are about tearing everything up and maybe starting to learn from some of those mistakes. And 40 is where you finally walk into like your spiritual maturity, your physical maturity, your financial maturity, all those things. That all might be true. All of that might have been what I needed to go through to get here, right? But then what if I can't pull it off in the final stretch? And that is where the fear is. So we could talk about the fear. Terry, what you gonna do about it? And I'll share a couple things that I've been working on every single day that have been very helpful for me to kind of overcome this mental block, this fear of turning 40. And yours might be 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, so on and so forth. I'm just talking about mine. Number one, and I say this at the beginning of every single YouTube video, be thankful for your life because you didn't have to have it. I can sit here and complain about all the things I haven't accomplished and that I don't have, but just going back to the basics, to the ground level, and being thankful that the good Lord woke you up this morning, that you do have a place to stay, that you do have a job that makes money, that you're healthy, that your family's healthy, that you have food on the table. Like, all of this extra stuff is great, but what about the ground level of it? Have you forgotten about how blessed you are, Terry? And that is something that I work on every single day. The next thing, acceptance. The reality is we are getting older. There's nothing you can do about it. Father Time does not stop just because you want it to stop. Now, what can we do about getting older? We can do things to keep ourselves youthful while getting older. We can work out. We can eat healthy. We can exercise. We can educate ourselves. We can do all of these things to try to maintain our youthfulness. The third thing is realizing, and this is about to sound so cliche, that a lot of times doors have to close for doors to open. I look at 40 like a door. And what I'm starting to realize is that if I want to have a productive next 10 years, that I'm gonna have to let the things that I destroyed go. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't lessons in those things that I destroyed. Would I have ever matured in the ways I have financially, spiritually, as a man, as a partner, as a father? You know, would I have ever matured in those ways had I not gone through the things that I've gone through? Probably not. But what's difficult is separating the bad stuff and being able to pull out the good stuff and take that in a meaningful way into this next chapter of your life. That's the difficult part. And that's something that I have to pray on every single day, dealing with the guilt of the people I hurt, the things that I destroyed, the things I broke, the stuff I messed up. I can't take all that stuff with me into this next chapter. And the reality is even though we might feel like there's an age limit to something, really those limits are self-imposed. Nobody said your shelf life on YouTube is 50. Nobody said you can't be successful after 50. You know, there's some people that feel like, oh my God, I'm going from my 20s to 30s, or 30s to 40s, 40s to 50s, 50s to 60s. The reality is, and this is something else I have to tell myself every day, you will only be unsuccessful at something due to your age if you say so. Because there's nobody saying that you can't achieve something just because you are turning 40 or 50 or whatever. So we just got to keep that in mind. Anyways, I won't sit out here and keep rambling. I don't know if this video was helpful to somebody. If for sure it's helpful to me. I feel so much better after talking about this. And if you're thinking about like starting YouTube and making a career out of YouTube like I have and a lot of my peers have, I got a couple videos at the end of this video. Whether you're thinking about it, whether you're having a hard time getting comfortable on camera, make sure you check those videos out at the end of this video. And we're almost at 100,000 subscribers, y'all. So if you like this video, just make sure you hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when new videos go up. So here's cheers to our next chapter, 40, and whatever yours is, let's take everything that we learned and let's apply it and let's get it. Love y'all. Piece of chicken grease, Tight Shirt, Terry Warfield. Peace.